Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, look, we have some more to discuss on the back and forth between the right and the left on who's to blame the political violence. Who is to blame the rise of political violence? It's getting annoying seeing the whole, and really, look, let's be frank here. The left did not start up the whole pointing fingers during the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. That was started up by the right. But you see this whole, as a voter, as a citizen, right? As an American, it gets old seeing the whole back and forth. But look, I get it, because hey, you're defending your team, you're defending these accusations brought against your group. I mean, we literally have the sitting president doing FBI investigations directly targeting liberal groups, because again, they're like, oh, this was the job of the liberals, this was the job of the left. It's old. In addition to that, Candace Owens, controversial conservative talker who was also very close to Charlie Kirk, she wants all the smoke. When I tell you, she is making she said it's not a threat, it's a promise. It is a promise. And you know how I feel about Candace Owens. I think right now she has been more trying to stay relevant, which, don't get me wrong, she made a name of herself, and there's folks that support her, there's folks that can't stand her. She's now in that independent space, doing her own thing, doing her own, having her own media platform. I don't think there's really any conservative groups that work with her. I mean, the Daily Wire was that was quite a big deal, and she's not with them. Before that there was PragerU. She's no longer with them. Before that, she was all Team Trump, this and that. She's not a part of it. So it's like people just don't want to be. They want to be bothered by Candace. They get tired of Candace. All right, they tired of Candace Owens. All right. But can you blame them? I mean, she is a hot mess. So I'm sorry, she bugs the crap out of me. But anyway, let's move forward. We're gonna talk about that. What else do we have going on? We got some more party switching going on here. We just found out a candidate who will be a former elected official in the state of Georgia that is going to be entering the governor's race. You won't believe who this will be. We'll talk about that later on the show. Also, New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani has received a big endorsement. And we'll talk about that and more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Lord willing, we have the time to, because you know how now I say we, but you know how I get the rambling and I'll extend the conversation here. But we're going to talk it all here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Again, thank you so much, my friends, for taking 1 hour of your time to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. Multiple ways you can tune into the program. But for those who happen to be watching us right now on YouTube, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with family, share with a stranger that's into great conversation programs like the Arrington Gavin Show. They're not going to get it anywhere else, but they're going to get it here. They're not going to get it at no freaking MSNBC, no freaking CNN, no freaking Fox News, no freaking Newsmax. They're not going to get it on those mainstream, no News Nation. They're going to get it right here on the Arrington Gavin Show, because everybody else, they're paid. They're bought and paid for. They're going to continue to spew the wrong information to you. And well, I won't even say that. They're going to not be fair and not be upfront with you all. At the end of the day, we want to hear both sides, but we want to hear it on a respectable level, and that's what you're going to get here on the program. Now, I might be opinionated at sometimes, but I'm just going to give you my honest opinion on things. You don't have to agree with me, but you have to respect my opinion, and that's what we want to encourage here on the Arrington Gavin Show. So, as I mentioned, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Arrington Gavin Show YouTube channel. In addition to that, you can also stream us on Goatverse TV. Goatverse TV. You can download it by getting it off the app. Downloading the app, Goatverse TV app. Is available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. So multiple ways you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show on Goatverse TV. And then you can also listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on all major podcast platforms. And then in addition to that, you can also listen to us on the radio airways. We're currently available on 2 radio affiliates, which we're honored and just a thrill to be a part of. We want to keep growing that, but shout out to the radio stations that we're a part of, like our friends over in New Orleans, WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time, only on WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. And then we're going to take a trip all the way to the metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. That's right, WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights, Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All righty, my friends. Look, we're going to head to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll start off with our first story. I normally would do the fun fact before, but this is kind of like a combination of a fun fact and a great story to chop it up about too. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Do not go anywhere. Do not change that dial. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new Goatverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing Goatverse TV.
Goatverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. All right, let's get it going with our first story, which is sort of like our fun fact today, but it's just an interesting conversation in my opinion to bring up. So all right, let's break it down here. So did you all know that there is a long list of Americans that are just not being as intimate as, like, I guess the average number of folks were normally was previously? So it says here we're currently in a sex recession. Yes, right, you heard it, for a sex recession. What? Now, I know we were in a recession, but not a sex recession. It says here that the share of Americans have regular sex keeps dropping. So I'm reading this by Institute for Family Studies. Says here, between the trade wars and armed conflicts across the world, there is talk of impending economic downturn. And while we at the Institute says here are not equipped to forecast economic recession, we cannot document a recession that already has Americans in the grips, and that is the sex recession. So as I read some highlights here, it says here married adults have markedly more sex than their unmarried peers, but the sex recession is also making inroads among married couples. It says here Americans are having a record low amount. They found out that in 1990, 55% of adults ages 18 through 64 reported having sex weekly, according to the General Society survey. But around the turn of the millennium, the number began to dip. By 2010, less than half reported having sex weekly. By 2024, of the more than 1,000 men and women queried on this topic by the GSS, that number has fallen to just 37%. So let me go ahead and let me pull up a graphic here. Let's see, which one am I going to do? Let's see. Let's do this one. All right, so let me go ahead and share this graph for those who are watching. I'll explain it for those who are listening here. So check this out. Check that out right there. So look at that graphic right there. Look at that graphic, my friends. You see it literally starting in 1990 at 55% and now trickling down all the way. No. In 2016, Gene Twenge found that the decline is largely a cohort effect. Younger generations are having less sex than their predecessors did. The causes, they're saying the decline is steady partnering, especially in marriage, and decline of sexual frequency within couples. Twenge findings largely hold true currently. Between 2014 and 2024, the share of young adults ages 18 through 19 who reported living with a partner, both married and unmarried, fell 10% points from 42% to 32%, according to the GSS that survey, because partnered adults have the most consistent sex and more young men and women are flying solo. The share of young adults who are having regular sex keeps falling. Now, this is interesting, y'all, because one thing I have realized is the dating pool is not as largely. I've known that number has dropped because they're saying, okay, do folks really get out much anymore? They don't. A lot of young people, especially, I'll say the tail end of millennials to Gen Zers, they're hungry for success. They're hungry to build up that next Fortune 500 company. They are work related only. They're married to their work and their work only. They're not getting out much. They're not hanging out much. They're not partying because they're like, no, I don't want to waste any more time. And they're being more cost effective too. And in addition to that, let's be honest, a lot of young people are holding on, staying with their parents rather than staying in a place of their own. So again, that makes that intimacy a little bit awkward. You know what I mean? Now I'm just saying, just for the young people. Now I can't speak for the older crowd. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's just the season. It's just like, not feeling it. But let me read a little more about this. Says that when it comes to the sexlessness among young adults, the biggest change comes post 2010, prior and up to 2010. The share of adults ages 18 to 29 who reported not having sex held steady around 15%, but the 2010 to 2024, the share doubled from 12% to 24%. This is interesting. This is quite interesting. What do you think, y'all? What do you think is the cause of this drastic drop? Are folks just not feeling frisky anymore? Is folks just like, I'm tired because I'm working hard? I mean, or is it just because of everything going on in the country, right? Recession season, folks are losing their jobs. Folks are struggling trying to keep food on the table. Folks are hating the prices that they see in grocery stores. Folks are hating what they see on their news because they're seeing this pity party between two grown ass adults in Congress and Senate that is pointing fingers at each other. I mean, it's like, you know what, with all this stuff happening, I just don't want to have sex. And then are they just binge watching more streaming shows and not caring about the good stuff? You know what I mean? You know what I mean, fellas? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I what is it? What is going on here? If you all want to continue to read, because this article continues to go more in depth, but I'm not going to spend much time on it. But if you would like to check out this article, again, you can go to Institute for Family Studies.org. I'm sorry, ifstudies.org. This is interesting. Again, you can just Google sex recession. It is interesting. It is an interesting case being brought up here. But yeah, I don't know, y'all. I'll tell you one thing. I'm different. I am different. Okay. Anyway, let me stop. I can see my wife right now saying, you need to stop. You need to shut up. Okay, let's go ahead and move it on. So earlier I had spoken about the party switching, right? The party switching. In addition to that, I've spoken about we got political figures receiving some big endorsements, and we're still talking about this issue on political violence. Now, there was, and I shared a little bit about it last show, but I want to play it one more time. Because shout out to Senator James Lankford. Now, he's a Republican senator, James Lankford, who is on the Homeland Security Committee. And I wanted to share this video one more time, this soundbite, because he has been on the good side of, hey, let's not point fingers and play the blame game. We have to worry about our constituents. We have to worry about our American people and really just saving humanity and democracy. Check this soundbite out.
Are you?
Yeah, I have to pay attention to it. We've had 14,000 threats against members of Congress just this calendar year. So the numbers are rising dramatically. Obviously, we've had a home invasion of legislators in Minnesota where they were murdered in their own home in the middle of the night. We've had a Democratic governor in Pennsylvania. His home was set on fire. There are things that are occurring now that are different than what we have seen just 2 or 3 years ago. So, yeah, we have to pay attention to this. But we also understand that it's important for all of us to be able to make sure that we're modeling rhetoric to be able to bring volume down. But each person, if they're carrying out acts of violence, they are personally responsible for that act of violence. It's not just a cultural thing that's given them permission, that might have given them ideas.
Are you?
I mean, once again, thank you, Senator Lankford, for being probably one of the sane, because there's not a lot of y'all sane ones on the right that is very sane about this issue on political violence and pointing fingers at each other. So I truly, truly, truly appreciate it that you are very sane, sir. Now, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. There is a where is it here? Let me find that clip, because I came across, someone sent this to me and I was like, thank you that there's still some more great people out there. This is Congressman Don Bacon, Republican, I want to say out of New England. Who is he out of? Republican. What did I say? What is his name? Don Bacon. Let me go ahead and pull up that soundbite for y'all. Hold tight, hold tight.
The temptation, if you're a partisan, to try to blame the other side for all of this. There's a temptation there. I don't think it's smart in the big scheme of things. I think America needs people to stand above this. And it would.
And I'm glad he said that. He said that. Blaming the other side isn't easy. I quote, and I want to read you the remainder of this here. He says, blaming the other side isn't easy. It's tempting, especially when they're hold up, I lost my place. When the news is full of division and outrage. But it's important, y'all, for constituents, for folks like this individual here, to help put that into the masses instead of spewing out hatred and division, because that's what we're seeing here. When the more you point a finger at a party, the more you point a finger at a group of individuals, that somebody will respond to that the wrong way, and then all hell breaks loose. Seriously, that's why you should not cause any form of. That's why I hate public beefs in general. Outside of politics, I hate when celebs have beef with another celeb, because to me, I'm like, okay, you have a strong support. Say, for example, if Beyonce and I don't know, Beyonce had beef with another artist, for how passionate, for how supportive her fan base is, somebody's liable to do something about it, to take matters in their own hand. Am I correct here? Am I not wrong? So I'm glad we have folks like Representative Don Bacon and Senator Lankford, both Republicans, both currently in office, one in Congress, one in Senate, that is putting out what's right and what is actually a fact. Is that, come on, y'all, this is not a back and forth thing. We need to worry about the fact what these individuals do are wrong, and we need to stop them. We need to stop the criminals behind political violent acts. Okay, because in my opinion, it's extremely disrespectful when the right continues to point the blame game. And there's cases, public information, that there has been attacks brought against Democratic officials. So I get confused with the whole. That's why I'm even more frustrated. The fact that you have a president, you have an individual in office that is also sponsoring this form of the blame game. He's helped start it, for crying out loud. Says here, this reported by News Nation, the FBI investigating liberal groups after the Charlie Kirk shooting. President Trump warned groups on the left would be investigated after the loss of conservative activists. I mean, I think you should just all around go across, whatever database or information y'all have, and don't just look on the left, look everywhere. Because I'm sorry, but there's insane folks everywhere. It's not just in one party or the other. It's in life. It exists in our world. It sucks, but they do. Where was I? Let's move it on from there. But I just wanted to shout out those two individuals who is doing the right thing. In my opinion, they are doing the right thing, and stopping this whole pointing the fingers. Hey, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. It's stupid. It's stupid. Jeez Louise, take ownership. Take ownership of your mistakes that y'all have caused. I'm sorry, when you bring in individuals like a Nancy Mace or a Margie Taylor Greene, you cannot talk at all like a Lauren Boebert. All right, you're a lot. If you look at conservative figures, not even in politics, but popular conservative figures in the world of digital, in the world of news, you cannot talk. I'm sorry. And this is not me being a supporter of the left, because I'm very much centered, but I'm saying that if you want to start pointing fingers at people, you need to look in the mirror yourself. That's all I'm trying to say here. That is all I'm trying to say. Let me go ahead and move it on here. And I want to talk about this here. Your girl, Candace Owens. Oh, she won all the smoke. Let me tell you something. She won all the smoke. Kansas does not play. Now, I am not a fan of Kansas. Like a Ben Shapiro, like a Larry Elder, like you name somebody in the right. I respect that they are extremely passionate of their beliefs, and they will be willing to debate that. For you got to respect it. You got to respect it. Now, I don't agree with most things Miss Owens says out there. I think she can be somewhat of a grifter. I think she likes to follow behind folks. That's just in my opinion. She became a prominent figure during the Trump era. It was a lot of people following behind Trump. Once they made some hit the cameras, boom, they continue that trajectory. Now, not saying she didn't grow her own platform on her, by herself, because she did. She was that person, but now she is just her own. She's a team of her. She's not on any conservative outlet at this point. She's a team of her, and she's extremely. She's been making accusations the whole time during this era of post assassination of the conservative activist Charlie Kirk. She has been making accusations. She's brought up stories that not any other outlets have been sharing, which, I mean, hey, that is a part of her brand. She's been very controversial, in my opinion. She leans on that conspiracy theorist side. That's just my personal opinion. But here's what she had to say, and I think this was very direct. Let me go ahead and find this soundbite here for you all.
You think that you are going to replace Charlie Kirk? Okay. Kings are born. You don't just get to depose and tell us that we're going to follow this individual. Okay. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. You put a shill in Charlie Kirk's chair, in Charlie Kirk's company, and you try to tell us to follow that individual, I will be an enemy of you. There will be nothing that can stop me. Okay. And I want you guys to understand, this is not a threat. This is a promise. There will be nothing that can stop me. I will release every single text message. So to those of you who are trying that, I'm seeing the messages. I am telling you to back off right now. Like right now. Don't do it. Okay. Don't you think about it. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you were that were exerting pressure. Don't you pretend to be noble now and say nice things about Charlie Kirk and think you're going to slide into his chair. Okay. Over my dead body, which I'm sure can.
I mean, like, poor thing. Like, I mean, and when I mentioned before I played that clip for you all, she's very direct. She's talking to folks on the right. She's talking to folks on the right, because like most, like politics in general, there's folks that are enemies within their own parties, and there's a lot happening in the Republican Party that is not being shared out there because hey, they have a good way of showing it. They rarely show the divisiveness happening on the right. Now you can see it heavily right now on the left because this whole is this Democratic leader gonna support Zohran Mamdani's mayoral race? Is this individual? Is that individual? So it's a lot happening on the left. But going back to Candace Owens, she is saying that you are not. I mean, to me, that looks like she's putting her hat in the pot for, hey, look, let me help. Let me be the next person in charge at Turning Point USA. Because Turning Point USA was an organization that was founded by Charlie Kirk, where he brought in thousands, maybe millions of college students to a conservative or Republican convention where you had nothing but all of, I mean, it was a conference. It was a big conference where you had speakers galore from Steve Bannon, from Donald Trump, from oh gosh, I mean, you name it on the right, they're there, right? It's the biggest, in my opinion. I think it's bigger than a CPAC. That I truly believe it's probably bigger than CPAC. And he started it. He started that. Charlie Kirk did. Again, you got to give him credit on the trajectory and the success that he has put out there. He started that. And so it is very lucrative. Very lucrative. And who doesn't want to have the power to be in charge, right? But Candace Owens is like saying, I'm one of the Masons. That's right. I'm like, don't you do it. I have the text message. She always got all the information. She got all the information. Who does she talk to? And I wonder, does her friends like talk to her with a grain of salt? Like, do not give her the full story on things, or people that she is in conversation with, because she is always trying to pick a fight and pick a debate with somebody. I'm like, and now I'm curious, who could she be talking about? Who could she be talking about? In the right, who can she be talking about? I know exactly what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. This is a prime example of y'all, somebody trying to stay relevant. Again, she is no longer employed by MAGA. She's not. She's trying to stay relevant. She burnt bridges with Ben Shapiro, a very successful individual in the conservative media. She burned bridges. Now she's trying to, again, stay relevant. But hey, I enjoy seeing it. I enjoy seeing her going after folks, especially when it's like folks on the right. You know, the right, the not like I was about to say, not white on white, right on right crime. That's what you're seeing. That's your witnessing right now. You see him beast between conservative folks in there, and she's considered independent, but very more right leaning, in my opinion. So it's interesting. It's quite interesting. She has been very vocal, as I mentioned earlier, after the tragic assassination of this individual. So she has been very vocal and does not care. She does not care anymore. I mean, we are talking about a lady who has literally been banned from countries because of her words. Prime example. Yes, freedom of speech is cool, but in my opinion, hate speech needs to be stopped. Like, you cannot continue. I mean, within the law, in the First Amendment, I mean, hate speech is somewhat protected, which it's somewhat protected. I say somewhat protected, because it's just, I don't know. Anyways, let me go ahead and move it on. And that's in my opinion, y'all. By the way, that's in my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm no attorney, but I'm just saying, we've seen what conservative talkers, progressive talker. We've seen folks with the platform spew out words where I'm like, can they really say that? Can they really say that? And they get away with it. They get a pass. So hey, what do I know? Let me go ahead and digress from this, and I want to really talk about this recent hold on, Tyler, we done with Kansas. we done with you, Kansas. We tired. We don't want to hear you talking no more. I really want to talk about. Let me see. Did I have a graphic for it? I guess I did not. No worries. Yeah, I guess I didn't have a graphic for that. That's okay. Zohran Mamdani recently received a major endorsement for his campaign for because he is currently running for mayor of New York City, and Zohran Mamdani has been an interesting name in the political space. And what I mean by that is there's a story always saying, "Oh, is the Democratic elite going to support him? Are they going to stand by Zohran Mamdani?" Folks have considered him a socialist. There's been, I would say, clips and messages that he has put out there that says he leans more of a socialist, and you have your officials that are more capital that are capital, especially within the city of New York. You would assume that he wouldn't be a fan favorite, but I'm just going to give you numbers that I've received now as of this was a polling done recently where Zohran Mamdani is leading the polling average right now, 43.4%. Second behind him is Andrew Cuomo, former governor of the state of New York, who is he had lost in the Democratic primary. Now he's running as an independent. He has 24.8% right now. Curtis Sliwa, who was a Republican. He was a Republican nominee last mayoral race. He has just 14%. And check this out, y'all. Poor old Eric Adams, the incumbent, Eric Adams at 9.2%. 9.2%. The incumbent now. Now, he was elected as a Democrat, but he had already mentioned that he was going to be running as an independent. He is he's over the whole party politics, but we've had speculations that he was offered a position in the Trump administration. He has said that he is not leaving the race. He's going to be here until the very end. And he's just, he's going out calling names. I think he called Andrew Cuomo a snake. He just said how unqualified Zohran Mamdani is. And of course, he beat Curtis Sliwa once, but the fact that Curtis is ahead of him, which Curtis is the founder of Guardian of Angels, and he's also a popular radio personality on in New York City. WABC is the station that he's been on for quite some time. But let me go ahead and share this big endorsement. So the current governor, Kathy Hochul, has endorsed Zohran Mamdani. Now, the thing is, it really hasn't picked up the shifts, but let me just read you a little bit about this by the this report about Politico. It says here that Governor Kathy Hochul jumped first with a surprising endorsement recently of Zohran Mamdani's bid for New York City mayor. She signaled establishment Democrats might finally rally behind the Democratic Socialists, but a wave of support didn't immediately follow. Now, top New York Democrats like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries stayed quiet. Swing seat members flatly refused to endorse the nominee, and even one of Hochul's closest allies, State Party Chair Jay Jacobs, wouldn't comment about the governor's endorsement. Now, instead, Hochul's move scrambled the tight-knit donor world and alarmed centrists who fear Mamdani will endanger the Democratic chances in battleground House races next year. Mamdani supporters fumed that other Democrats weren't following Hochul's lead. Let's see here. This is a quote I'm reading by the co-chair of New York City Democratic Socialists of America. The rest of the party leaderships are putting wealthy donors first who feel threatened by Mamdani's agenda to hold them accountable and make them pay their fair share. That was Gustavo Gordillo, again, co-chair of the New York City Democratic Socialists of America, went on to continue their continued reluctance shows who they stand with. It's not with the voters of New York City right now. I can't say he's not lying. I mean, let's be honest. A prime example, Congressman James Clyburn out of South Carolina, who is an established Democrat. Again, he's a part of the establishment. Initially, he was endorsing Andrew Cuomo. This was during the primary season. He was endorsing Andrew Cuomo. Now, once Andrew lost that primary, it's like, hey, look, you win some, you lose some, you live to fight another day. You lost this fair round. Now let's put our support to. That's what you would think a so-called, I guess, true Democrat would do, right? But no, they haven't done that. Now, James Clyburn said, I will endorse Zohran Mamdani. Now, I did endorse him during the primary, but guess what? He is the Democratic nominee, and I stand with my team. That's a man that is, again, a party politician. He's partisan. Now, we've had folks like David, oh Lord, what's his David Patterson, former governor of New York. He is not supporting Zohran Mamdani. Hakeem Jeffries is quiet. Chuck Schumer, quiet. I mean, there's a lot of there was a Congressman Tom Suozzi, quiet, which he said, look, I'm a capitalist. He's like, I am a capitalist. I am not going to be endorsing Zohran Mamdani. And again, it's just it's all the way how it works, because Tom Suozzi's district is quite a wealthy district in New York. So of course he's a capitalist. There's no shockers. There's nothing wrong with that. Hell, I'm a capitalist. All right. I am fiscally conservative. So I understand where it's like, okay, you want to go with the money, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to say I don't dislike Zohran Mamdani. I think he's a very sharp guy that can be beneficial for the party. He can help bring up the party, because at the end of the day, who does the Democratic have? Who do they have? The Democratic Party is suffering right now to find the next leader. Now, I'm not saying he can lead the whole party, but what I'm saying is, if he wants to play fair, it could be a push. I mean, at the end of the day, the majority have spoken. The numbers keep on growing for Zohran Mamdani. If y'all don't want him, then why the hell is he gaining in the numbers? Explain that, Democrats. See, that's your problem. When y'all see folks that are bringing attention, bringing up numbers, most folks are liking what they hear. You don't stand behind them. You stand on your principle. But at the end of the day, your principle has got y'all nothing but L's. Okay? Now, I'll give you my honest opinion, though. I think that Kathy Hochul endorsed, because she previously had said that she really didn't see eye to eye with Zohran Mamdani's politics and policies and his views, but she stayed behind him. So here's my theory. I think Kathy Hochul endorsed Zohran Mamdani really to benefit her. This endorsement is helping her look good, not helping him. You've already showed it hasn't moved the needle for Zohran Mamdani. That is to help her. You know why? Because it's going to be time for re-election for her. It sure is. See, all this stuff always has some form of it's always some strategy to this. He's not really, look, he could care less. Kathy is not a popular individual out there in politics. I mean, no disrespect to her. I mean, she is the leader of a state, but she's not a popular individual. So again, why not stand behind a man who is, first of all, for an individual to be a mayor, or excuse me, he's running for mayor of a city in your state, and he is probably the most talked about person out of the whole state, and he's on a local level. Like, that says something. And see, also you have Congresswoman Elaine Stefanik, who is, I believe, going to be running, or is a candidate, who is likely a shoo-in for the governor's race, Republican candidate for the governor's race. And so Kathy's like, well, let me go ahead and I need to start receiving love back from my party, because it's gonna be re-election time for me. But yep. So I guess the question will be, y'all, who else is going to be standing behind Zohran Mamdani? Or are they just going to be following the money and not following the principle and the people? Principle and people, the two P's, principle and the people. They're going to follow the paper. Okay, as I rub the fingers like Johnny Manziel did when he scored a touchdown. They are doing it for the paper. These Democratic elites, they're doing it for personal gain and for money. That's why they're not standing behind Zohran Mamdani. But we will see, y'all. We will see. Look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We come back. We have a lot more show for you. Do not go anywhere. You're tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the show. All right, let's go ahead. I want to talk about party switching happening in our day. So I talk a lot about party switching. Am I a fan of party switching? Not fully. I don't. I'm more on the lines of, hey, if I'm a Republican and I've left the Republican Party and I'm an independent, I respect that a little more than just bouncing from Republican to Democrat. And I don't dislike you. I'm just saying, can people change throughout the time? Yes. Can their views change? Absolutely. It's very common in politics, but I think sometimes from the outside looking in, from a voter looking at politicians, once you've entered into politics, I just look at it as, how can your views change on what you've have what got you elected and what you stood with. Now, if I'm not in politics, I can say this. Okay, as a young person, I was probably more of a Democrat, right? I was more liberal in these views. I didn't have a lot of money, so why the hell do I care about stock markets and this, that, and the other, right? Because look, the Republican Party is the party of money. It's not the party. It to say it's the party of working class. I don't think we have a working class party on either side, in all honesty. That's in my honest opinion. I see the left doing a little bit more for the working class. Yes, and I guess it defines on what is the working class. Is it based on uh price, your salary bracket, a class that you live in, whether it's middle, like it's difficult, right? It's difficult. But anyway, we talk a lot about individuals that switch parties, and I think it's common happening. I see it on both sides. I've seen it a little more on the right, just because not a lot of established Republicans are fans of Trump, and so first story I want to bring up, and then I have another one that will send us off towards the end of the show. But an Oregon representative, Cyrus Javadi, talks about the fallout of party switches. So let me go ahead, and for those who are watching, let me pull up his photo for y'all, just to put a face to who I am chopping it up about here. Let's do this. There we go. And so this right here, my friends, is Cyrus Javadi. So this is reported by KOIN6 out in Oregon. The Oregon legislature goes back into special session. Says here that the Senate will consider a $4.3 billion transportation bill that will already pass the House. Now, Representative Cyrus Javadi of Tillamook voted yes on that bill. At the time, he was the only Republican to do so, but shortly after the vote, he made an even bolder move, changing his party affiliation to Democrat. The fallout has been immediate. Representative Javadi represents House District 32, which covers the North Coast from Austria to Niskawin. He also owns a dental practice in Tillamook. I tell you, I need to visit Oregon so I can work on my pronunciation of some of the cities here. But he says he joined an Eye of Northwest Politics to discuss the reason behind the party affiliation switch up. Includes a recent recall petition against him. Now, let's see here. He was found criticizing the GOP for being more focused on burning things down than helping the citizens they represent. In a recent announcement on his Substack, the politician defended his vote on the anti-book ban, explaining that his decision was made in part because one of his children is gay. I quote here, he says, "I've had enough of politics and performance art." Republicans framed their oppositions as stopping pornography in schools, ignoring the fact parents already can challenge any book. The real issue was whether gay kids like my son, black kids, Muslim kids, could still find stories on the shelves that reflect their lives. He further explained that opposing the kind of censorship isn't about being woke, it's about being American. I mean, y'all, let the church say amen to that, because you know how I feel about when folks always bring up, oh, woke this, woke that. Like, please stop abusing the word. In my opinion, y'all, look, woke is about being informed. And update. Again, the opposite of woke is what? Asleep. So folks rather y'all just be asleep and let the other folks do all the talking and all the planning and stuff and keep y'all out of it. No, y'all got to stay informed. Y'all have to stay informed. Woke has been abused by the the far right, in my opinion. And then there's folks that have repeated that are liberals that I just feel like they've fallen into the trap because woke is not. They're throwing woke in the pot along with aggressive progressives. Okay, again, it's about being informed. So when, like, perfect example. If when Snoop, the whole case, and I'm kind of going back on stuff here, but when Snoop Dogg made the headlines because he was unaware of that it was a same sex couple in the recent Buzz Lightyear movie. He was not a fan of it. Folks will consider that, oh, that's woke, that's that woke stuff. That's woke. Or is it, maybe it's just the director saying, hey, look, same-sex couples exist in our society. There are same-sex couples that are parents of toddlers. So why is that, like, what's the deal with that? What's the deal with that? Now, I was that's a whole nother story. But again, that's an example that they will use. Now, you can debate the word woke. What do you think about this and any other woke culture? But at the end of the day, you gotta keep up what was happening in our society. You can't run away from the fact that, hey, there's folks that there's a same-sex love that exists. There's interracial love that exists. There's folks that might have questions about American history, and you see why I say American history and not just Black history, because Black history is American history. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Black history, y'all, is American history. So even though society might celebrate Black history in a month, American history, which Black history, it happens all year round for me. Okay, and I think it's a shame that you do have societies, you do have schools, or you have states that will ban books talking about American history. And that's gonna continue on. We're gonna continue this conversation on the next show, because I'm looking at my time right here. But I want to applaud this representative out of Oregon, Representative Cyrus Shavati, and I hope to have him on the show soon, because that right there is standing up on business. And see, it's another example of, folks will say a lot of stuff until it happens to them, until they are a part of the narrative, and then they're like, whoa, wait a minute. I mean, we see it right now. When the markets change, everybody started looking different at Trump, huh? That's what they did. This whole list that they discuss all the time in politics, people start looking at the man funny, because see, once it starts affecting them, then they feel sorry. But that's the notion that y'all got to get out your head. You have to put that notion in your head that if this could happen to me, how would I feel if this was happening to me? Don't just wait until it does, and then it's like, oh, I gotta backtrack. I gotta back to what I said. Oh my gosh, what was that? No, you have to put yourself in that case. That's why it's important, y'all. Be kind to one another. Help those in need, because if you were in their boat, what would happen to you? What would happen to you? What would you do? Y'all, that's my time. Continue to tune in weeknights to the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace and blessings. Stay informed. Stay safe out there. Make sure y'all vote. We got some big elections happening. Vote. Peace and blessings, y'all. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.